Hello, I'm William Gallagher. This is the 58 Keys Writing Workshop set of videos. I'm a writer, you're a writer. I tell you how I write something or how I see something in writing, and then you, please disagree with me in the comments. Otherwise, it's just me talking, and what is the point of that? I already know what I think. Need to know what you think. We need to have a talk, writer to writer, and if nothing else, puts off the writing for a bit, doesn't it? This time, pace, kind of pace and rhythm, really. I offer that our sense of pace in a story as the writer is substantially different to that of the reader or the audience for it. And I think it kind of has to be, because we've sat with this story for so long. It's like comedy, isn't it? I mean, the joke's really funny at first, but then, you know, you've heard it 30 times, you no longer find it funny, and you have to remember how it plays the first time. So you can get too caught up in the minutiae of your own story, and you must, but you need to be able to step back and remember how it will seem to an audience for the first time. Normally when I'm thinking about that, I'm thinking about the fact that we know so much about a story, we don't need a lot of explanation, but a reader who's coming through it fresh, very first time, probably needs a little bit more than we might think. Yeah, that's a whole other topic. But I got a nice example that just popped into my head. The writer and director Anthony Minghella was talking about, I think it might have been The Talented Mr. Ripley, but one of his films were pretty long, The English Patient. He said, well, a film is this long when you watch the final cut, but then it's this long when you watch that final cut with the financiers, the backers of it, and then it's this long when you're watching it with an audience and stuff. Our sense of time changes for this. Okay, but I also think that first you have to trust that you've set up the pace correctly. You know, the first burst through the story, how's it going for it? Be confident in what you've done there, and don't meddle with it without really good reason. Okay, I mean, and obviously there can be really good reasons, but don't second guess yourself once you've kind of laid out the path, if you write that way. Okay, but then I think the obvious thing is, you know, this, the pace in the story can't be relentless. It can't be full on all the time. You need to give the audience time to just, for a second, and maybe to absorb your brilliant prose for it. That'd be nice as well. Can't be full on, except it can. I just rewatched the 1993 version of The Fugitive. I'd tell you the name of the writer, but there are about 8 different writers and reportedly 25 different drafts, and then some of the actors made bits up, but we don't talk about that. The thing with that is I cannot abide watching something in bits. You know, it's just, if you're going to watch the film, watch the film. Yeah. But this time, it was really late at night, I was so tired, I thought I'll wait to the first moment. It took 45 minutes into the film before there was even the smallest little breath, and even then it was just fragmentary. In fact, I think I was maybe even wrong. I got to the point I thought, this is a good point, but so if I'd just carried on watching 10 seconds longer, it would have been all tension again. That is an extraordinarily unusual example of a film that's I want to say 2 hours. It feels tighter than that, but up to 2 hours long, and it starts quiet and ramps to the end pretty much ceaselessly. It's really well done for it. I don't think the Fugitive is based on a TV series that kept the same tension about the fugitive. Will he be caught? Will he catch who he's after? That kept it running for 4 seasons, so 4 years. How many episodes is that? That can't have been wallop. Or I mean, can you imagine the last episode? The last episode is great. Actually, I should go back and watch the first one. But for a film, for a one-off story, you can do that. But I think it's extraordinarily hard, and I think it's almost punishing for the reader and the viewer. You're definitely caught up in it, but part of the Fugitive is a thriller, so it kind of helped that you were G'd up by it. That's 2 film examples I'll just give you. Let me give you a novel one, in 2 senses of the word. Paul Auster wrote Oracle Night, and I can't remember when he wrote it. Quite some time ago now, but it was an unusual novel. It's a very good novel. I mean, I'll link below just because it's so good. But I think the thing that's quite compelling about it is it's the first time I ever read a novel that was 1 chapter long. It was a bit of, it's one of those things of I'll just get to the end of the chapter. There isn't an end of a chapter for it. It kind of cheats you somehow. It makes you think, it's like it's all compressed together in some way, even though it isn't. And it's very clear where there are divisions in the story, does have pace and rhythm and pauses, but still, just taking out chapter numbers made a massive difference to the pace. I'm reminded actually of William Goldman, again, mostly known as a screenwriter, but I'm thinking of him as a novelist now and a thriller writer. There's one of his books where he has a single sentence that runs on for something like 3 pages. So grammatically abysmal, but you don't care reading it. You are bounced from clause to clause, like a pinball machine. That's what I remember thinking. You are carried through it, and because it's one sentence, one unrelenting sentence, it's great. I should reread that book. I can't remember which one it is. Yeah, you want to watch me trying to remember William Goldman's novels, so let's not go there at all. Okay, but right, more usually, you have rhythm and pace, and all it is you have a big bit and then a quiet bit. That's a bit of a mixed metaphor. A big bit and a small bit, a loud bit and a quiet bit. You kind of just take people through. You give them those rests, you give them those moments, and then you hit them with the next big thing. Things, even doing that, that's a very clear sequence, and consciously or not, an audience gets used to a sequence. Sometimes intentionally. Robert Galbraith, J.K. Rowling's, the Seventh Strike novel, The Running Grave, there's a very long section, kind of in maybe most of the novel, where the 2 main characters are separated and on not exactly separate stories, but different tracks for it, and the chapters alternate for it. And for the longest time, you are so glad when it skips to one particular character, because you're so worried about the first one. And then actually, as you get into the end, you can feel the end of the chapters coming, and you think, oh, I'm going to go back and find out, is she going to be okay? I've just given away which character out of the 2 if you know the novels, but all right. That one's going to be televised soon. I'm very interested to see how they do that. But okay. So you can play with form and rhythm, you can bounce people back and forth. For it, you can do all these kind of starts and stops, but I think you can also mess with people's heads here. Establish a rhythm and then smash it. I don't actually have a good example for you. I have a semi-smug example. Do you mind a semi-smug example? Because it's from my writing, but it hasn't been produced, so you're not going to read it. It's a failure piece of my writing. That balances out the smug more than I expected or wanted. I have a play where it isn't the point of the play really that something's held back from you, but really one character you eventually realise is actually this other character you've been hearing a lot about. I mean, I'm not going to say woo, it's not a crime thing. And also, I'm pretty sure people are going to work it out along the way. I mean, some won't, and they'll have a nice surprise, and I really want that, and I've worked hard to give them that surprise. But audiences, readers, people are clever. They will get it. Some of them will get it. So, the reveal of this character's genuine name, if you like, a short way of saying it, is, I think it's actually the last line. And I said I worked hard on setting up the 2. I worked even harder on that last line, because it does this. The character's a woman, and I give her you expect, if you're predicting it, you know a first name, you know a surname, because you know which character it's supposed to be, but you don't expect a double-barreled name, meaning that she got married. She got married to a certain other character you are aware of for it. So there's the character, says what her real name is, and people who don't already see it are going to be, I think, a little bit shocked. I'm hoping it's one makes you want to go back and listen to the thing again, I hope. Others are going to think, got that, easy, obvious, and then wham, that second part of the name just... It's like, so 3 names, a first name and a 2-part surname. So the first name, I thought, surname, C, I was right. Second part of the surname, bam, an entirely different big finish to the end. And I've used the rhythm of her name to punch you with something that just that name, just that married name, meaning that married character, changes this from before. And I think it's the best 3 words I've ever written. And it still didn't work. But okay, yeah. Rhythm and pace. I used it to cheat. No, that's too strong a word. I think Paul Auster cheated in a way. It's like a mechanical way of keeping you in the story of the one chapter. With mine, I played the rhythm, I played the pace to give an effect that was more than just big bit, small bit, quiet bit, loud bit, the rest. I don't know, this is one of the ones of the videos here that you can disagree with, because you can't tell me I didn't write what I wrote, especially since you can't see it, but you can tell me if this is of any value to you. That would be interesting. You can tell me how you use pace for it. That'd be useful. I'd like to steal from you. You can tell me all sorts of things, and the more you tell me, the longer we have not to write for it. In fact, tell you what, go get a cup of tea. I'll get one as well. We'll meet back here in the comments in a couple of minutes' time, and away off you pop, okay? But in the meantime, while the kettle's boiling, thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourself. Write more, okay? It's important, and you're not doing enough. Nor am I. And I'll see you soon.